Namaste, friends. Welcome to this special podcast once again. Today, I'm interviewing a very, very special person, someone that I have known my entire life, my beloved brother, Mahesh Sengamedu. Mahesh, welcome to this podcast. I'm very, very delighted and honored to host you today. And I look forward to talking to you about your Chaturmasa experience. Welcome once again.
Thank you, Rajesh. In fact, I'll be glad to discuss more about Chaturmasa experiences. In fact, I am more delighted to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, Mahesh, before we kick off this particular podcast, um, can you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Yeah. As you said, my name is Mahesh Sengamedu, and I have done my engineering from Pune University. I have also done my management from St. Xavier's, Bombay. I was working with various companies in India before I set out my job abroad in 2005 in a company called Positive Packaging, where I went to Africa. I was in a place called Ivory Coast, post which I moved to Ghana now, and in 2007. I'm here since for the last 13 years now, and 2 years in Ivory Coast. So total 15 years of experience in Africa, and I'm currently heading the African sales and marketing division in the entire Africa.
Fantastic, fantastic. How about your family, Mahesh?
Well, my family, I have two sons working here, I mean, studying here. One is about to enter the university next year, and the second one is in approximately they say Form 2, the class 6 in India, class 6 or class 7.
Right, 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 right. And uh, you know, in this episode, I'm very interested to learn about your experiences of Chaturmasa. But before that, what was your view of food, good food and drink in general? Can you share that with us?
Yes. This is, I mean, right from childhood, I mean, you are aware that I had three-time meals, morning breakfast, lunch, and also dinner. Apart from that, we had evening snacks.
Yeah,
And
which used to be called Yenaru, right? Something
yeah, right.
in Kannada.
Something in Canada. And apart from that, evening snacks. So over a period of time, it has become a habit to have all this three times a meal, and that is what we believed. At least I believed this. Okay, we have to have three times a meal. And apart from that, we have having something in the evening as well. So this has been my daily routine, and more importantly, we used to eat. At least I used to eat stomach full. The concept of fullness of the tummy is. I believe the stomach fullness of the tummy is fullness of the mind. So then, so what happens is when we go to school or when we go to office, the concept is that you should not feel hungry in between, so that we overstuff it and we focus more on the work there. That was the idea over there. And also, that continued. And even during childhood, we never had the opportunity to go out and eat. So the concept of food is enjoyment is ingrained somewhere inside me. So I believe that food is the maximum enjoyment which a man can enjoy. So let's enjoy. This is the life. So let's go ahead. So I started eating left, right, and center. I also saw that many people go out in the dinners and have a great wine, food. So I thought, okay, let me also choose a career like that. So I choose a career in sales where I have to drive my customers for dinner and drink. So I enjoyed along with them. That is how my concept of food was. And I enjoyed all sorts of rich food, travel, and I have traveled most of the hotels in this particular region. I had all the food, of course, vegetarian food, all the food available here. That is how my concept of food was before Chaturmasa.
So is it if I understood you right, you're saying that food and the importance that you gave to food drove certain key decisions in your life, especially let's say the career path that you took. Would that be a fair statement to say?
Yes, in fact, that is an important driving statement.
It,
When you get free things, especially when my company pays for my drink and this one, so it is more enjoyable that way.
that's very funny what you say. But then let's talk about this. Why did you do Chaturmasa? What
Well,
motivated you? What was your expectation, you know, out of
uh,
as an outcome of doing Chaturmasa? Because it's not an easy thing to do for 4 or 5 months.
yes, see, somewhere as you grow along the line, you know that food was not necessity for you. So I mean, yeah, you want to have food, but ultimately it is a question of how much, how you care about it. But I mean, I also had serious challenges. One is before also I did some. It is not Chaturmasa. Before I did some fasting. Every Thursday I used to fast, and I used to be very healthy and fit. But that was at the mind, at the level of the mind. But mind was again slowly, gradually weakened, and again I started eating 3, 4 times. So the basis of control of the mind is rested only with the mind, but mind itself needs to be rested on the soul. That is my concept, so where I thought control of mind is more important, mind over matter, or soul over the mind.
Mhm.
This is the concept which I thought, okay, let me do Chaturmasa. I mean, apart from that, I see that I had various challenges which I need to overcome. One is I had this gastroenterical reflex disease. It's called GERD. The moment I eat in the night and sleep, the food used to come out and choke my throat, and even the breath would stop. I feel as if I'm dying for a few seconds till it goes down, and I
Mm,
suddenly get up from the bed.
mm.
So this is something which has motivated me. I said, okay, now enough is enough. Now let's do it. I mean, either you stop it, you stop eating in the night, or stop reducing the food, or so if I don't do it, the God will do it.
And Sudha, your wife, being a doctor, I'm sure that she would have, you know, given you some insights about what's been happening with you on the from the food
Unfortunately, I
side.
don't listen to her. I watch out more of Google. So the Google doctor.
Google
Okay, and
doctor.
neither she did mention about it. But I mean, if you look at this, I mean, it's becoming complicated. I mean, sometimes it chokes up in the night, and I was wondering, it's all worth it to eat like this? That was
Mm,
my main thing.
mm.
And the first thing was control over the mind. Second thing is taking care of the health. These
Okay.
are the two things which I thought Chaturmasa would help me.
Mm,
And the moment at that particular time, the thought was strong. Chaturmasa came and fell on my lap. I said, okay, let's grab this opportunity.
okay.
Let's start off cold turkey. So that,
Okay. Yeah, you talk about this cold turkey quite often, right? Cold turkey. I'll go cold turkey on this, cold turkey on that. Can you explain what exactly do you mean by going cold turkey on something?
let's say, for example, today, I mean, you are aware that I used to smoke a lot. And one fine day, I decided I should leave smoking. I should quit smoking. And second example is coffee and tea.
Hmm.
So I mean, I've been used to coffee and tea almost 7 to 8 cups a day.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
I mean, coffee, and I don't know, somehow, I mean, I used to boast myself as an addict to coffee, so like that. I mean, it's all. I mean, now I feel it's stupidity. At the time, I used to feel proud about it. So one fine day, I decide and just leave it then and there itself.
Hmm.
That's cold turkey. Like
Okay.
coffee, I just left it
Okay.
before the start of Chaturmasa. The same day, on the day of Chaturmasa, I left. So no, not even thinking about it. See, I have this control of the mind, but that should not be weakened. So that is why the spiritual angle is brought in Chaturmasa to fix the mind over the soul. That is the whole
Fantastic.
important point about it.
Fantastic. So, can you describe to me? I know that this year in 2020, Chaturmasa, although it is 4 months, because
Yeah.
of Adhika Masa, we had 5 months. So, can you describe your experience for the last 5 months of Chaturmasa?
Yeah. Okay. So that will be actually, it's very interesting rather, So first of all, I mean, although I had this in back of mind, I never thought about food in this 5 months because, okay, I mean, if you see many of the animals which we see over there, which they just eat and be happy. They are
Right.
not bothered about which masala to put in, whether this deer is tasty or that deer is tasty. They don't go. Tiger doesn't go seeing which deer is tasty and which masala would be tasty on the deer. So I mean, we should also be like animals. I mean, we are also part and parcel of this universe. So that was my concept running at the back of my mind. So I could easily drop down coffee and tea initially at the start.
Mm.
And also, since Chaturmasa is of 5 months, it's more of a concept of you focusing on what you are eating, so that which in turn defines your inner spiritual being. So, I mean, in the first month, there are no vegetables. I mean, I don't understand why the reason. I didn't go into the details of it because, I mean, I don't see on a whole 5 month basis. I see every day, I go on a everyday basis so that I enjoy every day
Mm.
rather than
Mm.
seeing at a list of 5 months and thinking it's a too much challenging things.
Mm.
So first thing is there's no vegetables. Second thing is there's no onion garlic. I mean, in the first month rather. I mean, almost in all the 5 months there's no onion garlic, but immediately all of a sudden you talk about no onion garlic. I mean, what do we cook then? Okay, fine. Okay, replacements, which we ultimately talked in, we saw in YouTube and with help of other guidance, we did cook something and with more of lentils, which have been living along. And at least I enjoy the food. I mean, I found out there's so many varieties of food which we can make in the first month. Okay, and secondly, there are no chilies as well, so we
Right.
used to have pepper and let me tell you, the first month experience, I had a very beautiful experience there.
Hmm.
The first month itself, I had 3, 4 challenges which has been cleared off in my mind. One is the addiction to coffee and
Hmm.
tea.
Hmm.
So automatically, although I did leave it, but
Hmm.
I was having a slight headache in the initial stages, but I overcame it with hot water and other things. And the second thing is I had a calf muscle pain, the left calf muscle pain. It was there for the last 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know. I mean, it was basically due to overeating, or it was due to my food. But suddenly it disappeared. I didn't. I mean, as you are aware, health means it is not uh, thinking about the body. If you don't have consciousness of a body, then it is health. You
Correct.
know,
Correct.
yeah. I mean, if you have a headache, the consciousness is on your head.
That is
The
true.
moment I have a leg pain, so my consciousness was there, running over there. I used to massage my legs. I asked my son to stand on my legs. So, a free massage rather. So, I mean, it's over now. Now he's happy that he need not massage me standing over it. So it's over. I mean, it's a surprise for me. So I mean, then I realized, okay, fine. The moment I started eating, also from 3 times I started 2 times eating
Mm.
twice.
Mm.
So at around 11 o'clock, I used to have a good meal, and around 4:35 or before 6, I used to have a light meal.
Right.
So maybe fruits plus something, or even a light dinner concept, but strictly no eating after 6 p.m.
Mm.
So I mean, this helped me in not just losing my caffeine. I also lost almost 5 kgs.
Wow.
5 kgs, I'm telling you, because I didn't see the weighing machine after I reached close to 90. So I don't know. I don't know how many kgs actually I lost. Well, let's say, to be fair enough, let's say 5 kgs is what I lost in the first month. I mean,
Mm.
gradually, rather, I can say.
Mm.
And more importantly, in the first month, once this kicking has started, everything is kick in the mind. You got this kick now. Okay,
Right.
yes, you are losing weight, your problem is solved.
Mm.
And then I realized I had a snoring problem as well. You know,
Mm.
but also stopped slowly, slowly. It's not stopped rather, but the intensity is reduced, and I can see that I can sleep very well now.
Mm.
And that was the first month. The moment these benefits came in, then I said, okay, now it's a cakewalk for me. Whatever it is, no problem. We have to enjoy the food. Let's just enjoy it, go day by day, and see how it is. The
Mm.
second month and was not very difficult. it was more of no yogurt sort of a thing. Okay, okay. Of course, we all being from South India, we have a concept of eating yogurt rice after good meal. I did had challenges then also. After a little bit spicy meal, I felt like having something which pleases the tongue. So, I mean, this is where I indulged in a bit of sweet food.
Hmm.
And,
I can't blame you. I think the sweet tooth goes in the family.
yeah, looks like. So, I mean, but still, I mean, and the advantage over here is still the mind was focused. Yes, okay, we take it to thing and limit to whatever we have, and see that particular point the problem is resolved, and don't think about it. At least this
Mm,
thought is there.
mm,
So the mental process, it is more of a the moving of mental is. I mean, mental thoughts have been moving. So this sort of thoughts strengthened, and slowly we left it. And the third and fourth month itself, we are not having any type of milk. Okay, this is not a major concept once I left the coffee or tea. So the advantage of not having milk is I found out many milks like groundnut milk, coconut milk, soya milk, almond milk. All these milks I found out.
right.
So it was very interesting to find this. Apart from that, I also had the experience of having various types of tea like
Mm,
tea, ginger tea, hibiscus tea, curry leaf tea. I thoroughly enjoyed all these months eating, drinking those sorts. And the fifth month was, I mean, rather more challenging, where we are talking about eating vegetables only, which is grown under the ground.
right.
Now, again, as I said, I never thought of in a long-term basis. I took day by day.
Mm,
So I went to the market and dished out all the one which is there in the market. Here you have yam, cassava, this one, the beetroots, the carrots. Of course, banana is allowed and dates are allowed and in this month. So I used to enjoy. So luckily, I also had mangoes. I mean, we have mangoes in this particular time in Africa. So it helped me also in the last 4 months. So in the last fifth month, and I mean, it was very interesting. Rather, you can make so many dishes
mm,
which we are not aware of.
mm,
I mean, instead of viewing Chaturmasa as strict adherence to food, we should say enjoy your food. I mean, that enjoying your food in a different way,
right, right, right,
different
right,
dishes in a different way, which will not only help you in your thought process and also your bodily.
right.
This is my experience in the last 5 months, which I have seen, which helped me.
That's really amazing. The journey that has happened from being a foodie to kind of going through a rigorous regimen like this. But couple of things that I understood from what you said, and just want to reconfirm this. First thing you said, yeah, Chaturmasa 5 months seems to be long, but I think you seem to say that taking it day by day seems to have helped you to
Yes, yes.
really go through it one step at a time. Like they say, a journey to a big destination starts with the first step, and then you took one step at a time, and it kept on rolling, and that's what worked for you.
The moment you think about 4 months, it seems as if too long.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
moment I said, okay, tomorrow we will do this and let's close tomorrow.
Right, right,
Today
right,
night I'm bothered about what I'm going to eat tomorrow.
right,
I'm not bothered about the after tomorrow.
right, right,
Just
right.
live for tomorrow, and it doesn't look like Chaturmasa.
Understood, understood. Then the other thing that I picked from what you said is that you discovered a different kind of relationship between food and body in terms of how the food impacts the body. You said that your calf, some chronic problem like your calf muscle pain or the snoring problem went away, and also your sleep improved. And
Mm.
did I understand you right that the moment you started realizing that the food impacts the body, it changed your attitude towards food, and then you started being more mindful of food. Did I understand you right?
Yes, see, what has happened is over a period of time when we started eating and eating and eating, it has become an addiction. Okay, addiction without a choice. We didn't know, but slowly it was. I mean, it was put in our mind that you should eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, some snacks in between, coffee, tea. I mean, sometimes I wonder what is all this. But now, before it was enjoyment, and after that, it's an addiction process. So, from enjoyment to addiction, you never know when it took place,
mm,
and from addiction to all these challenges,
mm,
you never
mm,
know when this happens. So already you are in a stage two.
mm.
So, the moment you have having these challenges, and you seem that the only way is to reduce your food.
Yeah,
Okay, the moment you realize this and put this in your mind, and start mindfulness of the food. We have a good attitude about food. Eat stomach full, but don't overeat, don't overindulge. Be just like other animals. As I just said, other animals we have seen in so many National Geographic channels as well. They eat the stomach full and they just don't overeat.
right.
You can see, no animals having a big paunch.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially is why, because they don't eat much.
yeah.
Neither they are bothered about which masala to put on the deer.
Right, right, right. No, what you say is right. Initially, our relationship with food starts with, we enjoy food. I love the way that you said it. And once that enjoyment becomes an addiction, and that addiction becomes dependency, and then the dependency, unfortunately, doesn't go away. It takes a long time to get over that particular thing. That's
Long
very
time to get.
nice what you said.
Yeah, and what happens is, in spite of, as I said, I talk about cold turkey again. Although you immediately leave it, but still it lingers in the mind. It is not so easy to leave even now at this moment. Sometimes
Yeah,
the thought comes. Sometimes again this thought comes. Okay, let's do this. Let's enjoy this. Let's go have pizza. But what happens is in the Chaturmasa, you slowly get into the spiritual angle as well.
right.
So it's a dual side attack
Yeah,
on the.
yeah, right,
It is
right.
not just a mind power, but also a spiritual. Both attack from the front and the back of the mind.
Right. That's beautiful. And I'm also reminded that when you were telling sharing about your experience of eating twice 2 meals a day. I'm also reminded of this beautiful saying in our scriptures which says, a person who eats twice a day is a yogi, thrice a day is a bhogi, an enjoyer, and 4 times a day is a rogi, someone who is likely to fall sick sooner or later, and 5 times a day is a drohi, means the person is actually eating someone else's food rather than what is required for them. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experience. So I know that you did talk about some of the challenges that you overcame, but maybe can you spend maybe 30 seconds to quickly summarize the top challenges that you faced and how you overcame those challenges
Um, Challenges. See, challenge. Sorry, can you repeat the question? What sort of challenges you're talking about?
during the Chaturmasa? From being a foodie to doing 5 months of Chaturmasa, you would have faced some challenges. You did summarize that in your experience, but can you quickly once again for our listeners' sake summarize that?
See, mainly challenges is, on that, it basically starts with your taste buds. Okay, the moment you see food, our mouth starts watering.
Hmm,
That is the main challenge over here. It is not the food itself which makes you the problem per se.
hmm,
It is our mindset which is making our problem in
hmm,
terms of the having doing this chaturmasa for 4 or 5 months.
hmm, hmm,
I mean, today if you see what is happening, we
hmm,
shared a group wise,
hmm,
and we had a WhatsApp group with you when you
hmm,
started this WhatsApp group,
hmm,
and we were sharing all the challenges which we were having over in this particular point of time,
hmm,
which we overcome. Like first instances, coffee and tea.
hmm.
You have suggested something, other colleagues have suggested something. So having a headache is one thing, and finding easy solution was another thing.
Hmm,
Not solution. This group was more motivating in this.
hmm.
So what happens is the moment I have a challenge, I post, and people have posted their solutions on their challenge.
We
So
enjoyed
before,
all the food pictures that Sudha cooked for you, and you
not just
posted
Sudha,
them.
I also people, yeah, I also helped her in cooking, just to motivate her also, because without onion, nothing is going to happen in our house.
Yeah.
So I used to stand in the kitchen and say, "Don't put onion." That is my contribution.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
So, so that is one sort of challenge which we are facing. And second thing is the thought always it goes into the food. So the moment you have a little bit food, your stomach is not full. The old habit kicks in again. You see, your stomach is not full. Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? This has been a major challenge which I had faced in this 4 5 months. But somehow I overcome this by what I say a mental toughness. It's called titiksha in
Hmm.
spiritual way. So that kicked in when these thoughts have come. I replaced it with water, simple water, and overcome all this. I mean, I'm not. I mean, today, if you look at even if I look at somebody eating or somebody having indulgence in food or rich food, I mean, for me, it doesn't matter. I eat, I don't eat. That is the sort of mental attitude slowly I developed in this 4 5 months from being a foodie. So that was a major challenge. So apart from this being, I mean, we are also in the fifth month of the thing. We are also not supposed to cook with groundnut oil or this seed oil. You
Yes.
see, I mean, that was also another challenge. The flavor, other things of. I started cooking with olive oil. So I mean, this type of things also. One. I mean, initially it was tough. Then you have
Yes.
to start enjoying it. I mean, when once you develop a taste for it, and seeing just food as food instead of satisfying your taste buds. I mean, I think you can overcome all these challenges. This is how I did overcome all the. I mean, it's not challenges, I say. I mean, it's a type of enjoyment, which I say rather. I enjoyed
Amazing.
being
Amazing.
challenged.
No, I love the food posts that you used to post, and especially the day following Ekadashi, the Dwadashi food posting, with the huge helping of multi dishes. It's beautiful, very good. And just
Yeah.
to think of it, you folks have been able to create a vegetarian food with restrictions, but still, enjoyable. That's really amazing. Amazing.
Correct. And just one more point which I wanted to say is on the Ekadashi front. Every 15 days, there was a Ekadashi being done. So Ekadashi, some people take with fruits, some people with water, some people no fasting. So I graduated from, eating, let's say fruits to immediately in the week itself to third time itself to straight Nirjala Ekadasi. I didn't wanted to do a cold turkey there. So, but I wanted to evolve rather than revolve over the food matters. So that is what I did. And for first week was very challenging, and after that it was very comfortable. And more importantly, once I do Nirjala Ekadasi, the very next day I automatically get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I don't even need to keep an alarm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
somehow the body clock seems to be suiting getting up at 4 o'clock. And second thing which I see is also that it is what do you call this? I forgot what I wanted to say. Something very important point came in, so I didn't recollect. Sorry, I
Right.
forgot.
So let's do it this way. I think we're probably coming to the end of our time. So perhaps I have one last question for you, which is you did Chaturmasa for the first time. Now, if you were to recommend your top
Yeah.
three recommendations to someone who wants to try this out. You shared the amazing benefits that has shown on you in terms of your ability to get over the dependence of food, in terms of some of the chronic problems being solved, in terms of being able to enjoy food despite the restrictions in the type of food that you're going to eat. So what are your top three recommendations for someone who is daunted by this task of cutting the dependency on food?
See, I mean, they should consider Chaturmasa as a de-addiction process. It is not a restriction of food. It is more of a mental de-addiction process. What they have to look into it. See, once you know the technique of de-addiction, you can be de-addicted to anything. I mean, the basic thing which Chaturmasa teaches you is the de-addiction.
Hmm.
It, and second thing is join this group where each one motivates each other. So that is also more helpful. If somebody is doing it, why can't I? So that is one thing which will motivate other
Hmm.
people over here. So I mean, it is not a daunting task rather. So I would rather say Chaturmasa is eating more about a spiritual food. I mean, I would say the mental food. Like, the moment you overeat, the mind goes to the stomach or the mind is dull. So, mind, instead of moving to a spiritual region or the realm of spiritual things, it is on your tummy itself. So, I mean, the food, you're not giving a proper food to the mind. So, best thing is to do Chaturmasa and see that your mind is gets this higher taste, the higher kick. The moment
Understood.
you get the higher kick, you leave the lower desires automatically. As Swami Sarvaprayanandaji once said, 2 minutes on the lips and 20 years on the hips. So so I enjoyed this caption which he said. So
Right.
let's have this and let's see. I mean, I would rather recommend all the people to see that the de-addiction process completes within this 4 5 months of
That's That's amazing. Thank you so much. I know that we don't have enough time to talk about some of the other spiritual pursuits that you've had in the last 4 months, but let's take maybe 30 seconds to you know to learn about what shifted in you. The moment you started taking lesser and less food and started following that. Were you able to understand, learn newer spiritual concepts, and what did you do? Did you read the Gita? Did you read something else? What did you do?
No, see, what has happened is like just when we were in, I mean, when I used to read some big novels, I used to go to the last page and see what happened in the thriller. Same way, I realized, you go to meditation and finally reach your stage of moksha. So that didn't happen. So the moment I took any spiritual book, go to the last, they say meditation, reach moksha. No, that doesn't happen. So then only I started reading Bhagavad Gita in detail, where it creates a framework. So, it creates a framework, what to do, how to do, at what stage you are, what you need to do about it. So these are all the thought process which ran in this 4 5 months in this Chaturmasa, apart from the food. So this happened because I left my mind free with the food, and that where is indulged in the spiritual things, and it understood more. So now,
Amazing.
now the framework is very clear what to do, even with this particular life, with having responsibilities, taking responsibilities to attaining what our goal is in life in the spiritual thing. This has been my journey in this 4 5 months, reading spiritual things. I'm still continuing it, still not done.
Awesome, awesome, amazing. So, last question, and it's just an yes or no question. Will you do Chaturmasa again in 2021?
Yeah, this time I'll be more stricter. This time once or twice I missed. My wife graduated. She graduated a fellowship, so we went outside to have a pizza. So even that I want to cut down the
Yes,
next time.
but Sudha did tell me that you did not have masala chai. So she did tell me
Yeah,
that.
nothing, no chai, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed talking with you, Mahesh, today. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with our audience. And I know that Sudha has joined the Chaturmasa group. So next year it's going to be fun, 2021 for both of you
Yes,
guys.
definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So let's hope.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mahesh,
Thank
and thank you so much for your time and for your thoughts to share with our audience.
Take care. Take care. Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Bye.
Bye.